Good morning. As we approach the Thanksgiving holiday, I assure you, I count my QCA family as one of my greatest blessings. I have always known how lucky I am to be here, but the last 2 years have reinforced that feeling. Dealing with COVID has not been easy for anyone. I assure you, I despise it as much as anyone, and it is not going away. Certainly things are looking up, but we cannot let our guard down. Because following protocols and regulations have become part of our normal routine and daily life, I'm afraid I've neglected to update our QCA families on what we continue to do and some of the protocols that have changed. It has occurred to me that I have not given you any kind of update since last year, and I apologize. So I believe an update is due. We continue to follow all the sanitizing and cleaning routines that were put in place last year. All students and staff are wearing masks and are often reminded about wearing them correctly. They are allowed to take off their masks in the cafeteria, outside at recess, and in their classroom only when they're having snack and remain in their seat. Honestly, we have no problem with children wearing masks. Sadly, they are so comfortable with them now that they feel funny without them. We are having students sanitize their hands often and are washing desks down several times a day. Every evening before leaving for the day, students spray every desk and table with a bleach solution to sanitize. Mr. Nguyen comes to clean and sanitize railings, lockers, cafeteria tables, and more throughout the day. Although movement in the classroom has been allowed to loosen a bit and students are able to work together in groups and partners, we are trying to limit that time as much as possible. And seats are assigned in the classroom and the cafeteria to remain appropriately socially distant. Something that has changed, should be noted, is that close contacts are now only students who sit directly around the diagnosed student in the classroom and at lunch. If a child is diagnosed with COVID, only the students sitting directly around them are notified to follow the close contact procedures, which include quarantine and testing, and they will also have access to remote learning. The other students in the class are not considered close contacts. The families of all students in the class will be notified, but those students should come to school as they normally do. Examples of the letters that will be sent out are attached to this communication. If a student in one classroom is determined to be a close contact, that does not mean that their siblings are close contacts. They are not close contacts. They can and should come to school as they normally would. We are being very careful to be respectful of the privacy of our families. We will never disclose the names of the diagnosed students and hope that our QCA community will also be respectful and understanding. These students and their families have done nothing wrong, and we sincerely appreciate their honesty and caring, letting us know of the diagnosis during a very anxious time for them. Unfortunately, this could happen to anyone. Although connecting remotely is a good option for those students designated as close contacts and required to quarantine, it is not ideal. Connectivity on both ends can often be difficult. Teachers will do their very best, but they will also be sure to assign work that students can do independently. Teachers will also be patient and understanding of this situation and will always support students and catch them up when they return. Because of the difficulty with connectivity for students and teachers, only designated close contacts required to quarantine will be allowed to connect remotely. If other families choose to have students stay at home, they will be considered absent and will follow the same procedures as always for students who are absent, making up work when they return to school. We are entering a very difficult season for fighting COVID. Many families travel over the holidays. Protocols for travel are attached to this communication. A change in travel protocol is that only airline travel requires a negative COVID test to return to school. but any student who travels on an airplane must follow our travel protocols to return to school. The arrival of colder weather also brings concern. Students will be inside more, and following protocols for masks and sanitizing is crucial. Of course, this also means the cold and flu season is upon us, bringing its own set of issues. We will continue to do all that we can to keep our students safe and healthy, but we must work as a team. The most important, in fact, vital way you can help us is by keeping students home who are sick. It is very disheartening to hear from students who visit the nurse in the morning say, "My mom gave me Tylenol this morning," or "I threw up last night," or "I told my mom I didn't feel good." Needless to say, these students are sent home immediately. But in the meantime, they have infected members of their class. They may have infected members of their class and even their teacher. We realize that this can be inconvenient and difficult, but please consider the health of your child's classmates, and your child's teacher. I did hear a doctor on the news state that although this winter will be tough, he believes that things will turn around tremendously in the spring with an increase in vaccinations and warmer weather. I am holding on strong to that prediction. I know we are all looking forward to the day when we can say, "Remember when we fought COVID?" I personally cannot wait. In the meantime, I believe working together, we can keep it at bay as much as possible. Should it sneak in, we can deal with it effectively, keeping our students safe and healthy. Thank you again for your continued support and understanding. I appreciate it more than you know. I hope all our QCA families enjoy a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Thank you.